everybody, your friendly neighborhood Glenn here, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about fresh air in hotel rooms. That's something that I need. It's a real must for me, and that's why I've stayed in hotels and have been focusing on that over the years. And yes, I say over the years because this is nothing new. This is something that's been out there for a long time. However, I think during the COVID crisis that we just got ourselves through, this is the sort of issue that became extremely relevant and at top of minds, not just for hotel owners, but particularly for consumers. Now, one of the brands that I love using, I have in my house, is Blueair. And we have with us today, Ms. Leda Aguilar. Great to see you. Thanks
Hi,
for being
Glenn.
here.
Hi, Glenn. Good morning. Thanks for having me.
It's so great to see you. So I love the products. As I said, I have them in my house, and I had no choice but to have these products in my house because when people say, Glenn, how many cats do you have at home? Unfortunately, my answer is way too many cats. So we've got all sorts of air problems in here. I should say we had air problems here. No longer, because I love what your products are doing. But how does something like this really work for the hospitality industry?
Well, like you mentioned, clean air is something that everyone wants, and I think it's something that we all thought about. And then the pandemic came around, and we thought about it even more. And so it used to be like a nice thing to have, and now it's a little more like a necessity. And I feel like, I've seen that change in that mindset, especially in retail, but now we're seeing that happening, in businesses and hotels, hospitals, and all different places. So yeah, it's definitely something that Blueair, we make a premier product with what we call HEPA Silent, our proprietary technology, which offers a very whisper quiet sound, all in offering, clean air. And what we call is a clean air delivery rate.
Right.
And what that does is, brings in the air with a mechanical infiltration process, recycles that air and puts out good clean air every 12 minutes.
Wow. So let me ask you this question because there are different size spaces, right? I have different size units for different size rooms in my house. So there's got to be a difference between creating great fresh air for the lobby as opposed to a guest room.
Well, we do. We make several different units. Recently, like a lot of our newer innovation is what we call auto. We have a Blue Auto series. And so it's all basically designed on your square footage. However, like I mentioned, no matter what unit you have, the nice thing is it's actually circulating that air every 12.5 minutes. So 5 times an hour, you're getting clean air. You just have to get the right unit for the space that you're using.
So, Leda, people are going to say, why should I invest more money on this? What is the ROI for something like this?
Well, it's a couple things, Glenn. Number one is that when guests really see this, it offers consumer confidence. They know that they're investing not only in the quality air for their guests, but for their staff. Their staff is in the hotel up to 10 hours a day, housekeepers, you know how that is.
All right, so let me stop you right there for 1 second. The hotel industry, obviously, you guys out there facing it right now, is having tons of issues keeping people engaged or even hiring them. This, to me, if I could have great air that I know will keep me healthy, it not only takes away some of that fear of people catching something, but also will make sure that I could go home at the end of the day breathing easy.
Absolutely. Right now, as you mentioned, just keeping people employed in hotels has been a challenge. So knowing that the housekeeper is going to be in a clean, safe environment, that gives her more incentive to want to go into work. Right. Obviously, they're in contact with guests all day long, from leisure guests, business travelers. So that's a huge plus, for the actual staff that's working in the hotel. I usually work in hotels with the GM or housekeeper, maintenance. Maintenance people love us because our units are energy efficient and Energy Star rated, so it actually takes less energy than a light bulb. So yep.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. And I'll tell you, you don't even need to see it because once you go into the environment, you can literally smell the difference.
Exactly.
So you're not only talking about taking things out of the air that we don't want to get into our bodies or smell, but you're also just talking about creating an overall better environment where that air quality leads people to go, hey, this is an environment that I want to be in. And I'm thinking about the hotels you said about wellness. Pair that with a living wall, for example, and it really connotes the right type of messaging. You're not just telling your transient guests, but I bet it's important for that group business as well. Or if you're booking, with companies that they're going to stay at your hotel for X amount of nights a year for all their people.
Yeah, right. And so, guests, obviously, if they're having this in their home, they want that same experience. They have clean air in their bedrooms. They want to have that good night's rest. And it's actually studies have shown that putting air purifiers for allergy sufferers, people on the road, business travelers, leisure travelers, they're getting that good night rest by having that because they're used to those types of products in their home. And
Right.
I think, and so hotels are just now getting into that. That's been a trend happening, making it, like if you're on vacation or you're traveling for business, you want those conveniences in your hotel room as well.
Yeah, you absolutely do. So, could you give me an example of a hotel that's finding success with this particular idea of adding air purifiers to their property?
Absolutely. So the great thing is that we are a global company. So not only overseas in Europe, there's a hotel in London, a very nice boutique hotel
Mhm.
called the Page Eight, and they put them, I believe, all over. They started
Right.
with the rooms, which is very common, and then they'll put them in the lobby area. And the hotel director had great comments from guests saying that they've had great night's sleep. And those are guests who obviously
Yep.
suffer from allergies. Right here in the U.S., an iconic hotel in Chicago, the Chicago Athletic Association Hotel. They've also placed them in, and great reviews from the guests. That's a beautiful property on Michigan Avenue.
It is. In fact, we featured them on No Vacancy Live. They're really
Oh,
ahead of all of the trends.
they are. They are. It's been there, and it's like a great location. You got Grand Park right in front of it, and so they have weddings and a lot of different events going on. So again, they've had nothing but great reviews. I remember they actually needed them for New Year's Eve, and
Right.
so they got them in, and they loved it, and they had a great event.
That's beautiful. Leda, how can we learn more about Blue Air should we be interested?
So you can definitely contact myself. On the website is blueair.com. You can email me directly. I'm happy to, I offer a lot of consultative services for hotels and helping them outfit and retrofit their properties. And I'm, like I said, more than happy to assist.
Leda, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, so everybody, really, fresh air is the key. It's one of those things that you need to have in place in order to keep winning guests back over and over again. They may not necessarily go, hey, I'm going to stay there just because of that air filter, but it's part of your overall strategy. If you have clean air, it sends the right message to your customers that your property is clean and they will be healthy and have a great experience staying with you. And don't forget about that wellness part. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Glenn Hausman. We'll see you next time here on No Vacancy News.